Hey guys, Tarab here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We're on Crossroads. Playing for today's point in the south, we have BarbaPenaloza playing as US Forces, straight away going for Infantry Company. And from the north, we have Ender playing as Ostheer, who has Lightning War, German Infantry, and Jaeger Infantry. Just rankings here. Both these players are roughly rank 160.
Fresh Grenadier squad.
So, no tank traps or anything from Barba. Which is, you know, maybe not the best sign. No sandbags here either, with, you know, infantry company. It's one of the main assets in the early game of this commander, to put down a bunch of sandbags with your riflemen. Oh, we got a mine coming up on the cutoff. Not a bad idea. Quite a passive start here, though, from Barba. Okay, just hard retreating over there. MG in the building, kind of boxing him out. Yeah, generally I'd say you need to get a little bit more aggressive than this as the US player. Maybe make an attack before the 3rd Grenadier arrives, if possible. Kind of exploit the fact that riflemen have such a good matchup against Grenadiers in the early phases. The fact that you can run up to them and light cover and be expected to win just gives you a lot of flexibility as the US player. Going to be a 4 Grenadier start here for Ender. Couple riflemen coming down the far side now. Going to make a jump onto the cutoff. That mine could pay dividends here for Barba. Oof, just off to the side of it, making his way across that light cover. Close call. Easily could have lost like 3 or 4 models to that mine. Probably about time to get this machine gun out of the building. You can see that there is 3 squads out on the map. You know that one just retreated. So basically everything accounted for, so there's no real reason for the machine gun to be in this building anymore. Need to get that into combat. Ambulance coming through now. And there's troops coming across to intercept. Grenadiers do have the superior cover. Got the re-echelon closing, and the riflemen also need to close the distance here. Looks like only one model from that squad is firing. The squad coming back to defend. Airspires into the retreat path. That could actually be pretty nasty. But the Grenadiers end up retreating there unnecessarily. Should have stuck around to at least force the re-echelon retreat. Oh, okay. Going for a long retreat here. Barba. Can he get away with that re-echelon? Starts the retreat from there. I think I would have run right into the corner. Looks like the re-echelon is going to get away. And now Ender outnumbered. Finally bringing the MG42 in, but this is well overdue. I don't think he's going to have enough staying power for this machine gun to work. Except if Barba runs back into the machine gun. No, he must have lost sight, perhaps. Okay, mortar half-track from Barba. 4 Grenadiers start for Ender, so no 2-2-2 to kind of punish this play.
Out of contact.
Yeah, the map is a bit of a mess at the moment. Just all sorts of cut-offs and random sectors captured at the moment. not a lot of resources for these two players. They actually have the same income at the moment. Running past the cutoff there. Got a bunker up.
The enemy is
Tier 2
taking
coming up
our
now as well.
territory.
But yeah, very, very late on the 222 here for Ender. Might even be a timing you consider not going for one. That's how late it is at this stage. Oof. And just mismanagement of manpower. Oof, this is a very close call and doesn't quite get away. You can't go for 4 grenadiers and a bunker before your tier 2. It's just too much manpower. Got to decide one or the other. Just accept that you're going to bleed a bit more. Maybe if you've just got a whole bunch of low units, maybe you could consider it, but in this case, not even getting the upgrade here, just going for LMGs on the grenadiers, so not even making use of that early bunker. We've got the double mortar half-tracks out now. No defenses for them, apart from a couple rifleman snares. No AT gun, no bazookas. So 222 could have a field day here. There we go, the double mortar half-tracks. Revealing themselves. Big damage onto the pioneers. Second 222 for Ender. I think that's a decent option. This one backing in, but maybe the mine's going to come into effect this time. Oh, indeed it does. Good mine work there from Barba. It pays off. Otherwise, he probably would have lost one of the mortar half-tracks. Maybe not both. Down it goes. Both of them are alive now. That's really bad news for Ender. Oh, they retreat. This time they do survive. Second 222 rolling through. Can't dive in too far though. A lot of snares over here. And now an anti-tank gun from Barba. Oh, machine gun somehow not firing here. Maybe had to reload or something. We couldn't see the animation. And that just goes down. 222 doing its best here to prevent the steal. Where are the pioneers going? They need to be jumping on this machine gun and trying to get it out of here. They come now. Barba though has enough munitions for a couple more anti-tank grenades. So there goes the 222. Sacrificed himself to save the MG, which is, I think, understandable. But now, what is the answer for Ender? Locking into Lightning War. We have some LMGs perhaps on Barba's side going forwards. This could be very, very difficult for Ender, already having spent quite a lot of fuel on those double 222s. One squad down. You know, LMGs on the grenadiers as well, so are prone to standing still in the engagements, making them vulnerable to the mortar half-tracks. Ender with a lot of manpower at the moment. Does have a lot of options open because of that. If you fancy yourself with good pack positioning, you could go for a pack at this timing. Try and get a couple of hits on these, you know, especially with the hedgerows. Maybe you could camp pack back here, get some attack grounds onto the mortar half-tracks. Gonna need an anti-tank gun at some stage. Looks like Ender's not going to continue on the aggression. Well, the sweeper's out though. Kind of lucky that he didn't decide to upgrade a flamethrower earlier. So he can sweep up a couple of those mines that the riflemen have been planting. It looks like Barba's going to have a pretty smooth path towards his first medium tank. And briefly building a second machine gun. I think that's a good decision to go for another grenadier. I suppose a panzer grenadier could also be an option as well. Pretty good rifle nade out there. Nearly catching the rear echelon. But I'm guessing the next unit from Ender will be that pack. Cases like this, I think the ideal is to use your machine gun a bit more on the flanks than through the center. That way the mortar half-tracks at least have to rotate further across to try and counter it. In this case though, backpedaling far enough to defend the cutoff, also a decent option. Barba might be reluctant to push mortar half-tracks too far forwards. Now Grenadier's coming up to the side.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
G43's upgrading, so decent option. Gonna have more success now because Barba hasn't picked up any M1919s. Does have enough munitions for 2, close to 3 at this stage, so if these riflemen already had those LMGs, then they would be having an even tougher go of it right now.
The enemy is taking our territory.
And overall, I think, you know, Barba could be doing slightly better. Just trying to play maybe from light cover and let the mortar half-tracks do the heavy lifting. Maybe he's retreating a little bit early. They're doing a decent job of dodging away. Both these players with just a crazy amount of manpower at this stage. And a relatively low amount of casualties. Overdue starting up the major tech here. Gonna go for a second anti-tank gun.
The enemy is
See
overrunning
that battle phase is complete for Ender, but still a good amount of fuel away from a medium tank, so second anti-tank gun maybe not that necessary.
We are losing a sector.
Barba just needs to have a bit more focus on actually defending his fuel. I feel like he's lost control of his fuel far too easily.
Back to full strength. AT gun ready.
Gonna go double time on a bit of this. There's not much going on right now.
Our supply line just got cut off.
So tier 3 coming up for Ender. See the Barba just so far overdue getting the major tech out. And actually he's going to be second to get to his tanks. That's how poor his fuel control has been, and also how little he has been effective with his harassers over the last maybe 6 or so minutes. He had a couple good moves in the very early stages, but been very slow progress since then for Barba. Line spotted, and again a very early retreat.
The sector has been cut off.
Boyd, you
I
ready
think he
to
could have
roll out?
stalled out in the light
Capture
cover.
point is under attack.
So far, so the mortar half-tracks just haven't really been that effective, honestly. I'd say he's like retreating a bit too early. Maybe he's also just right-clicking on enemies. Does give you away in the fog of war. Good dodge there from Barba though.
A capture point.
By the time they get into position, the squad's already gone. And now again, Barba leaving this completely undefended.
Attempting to steal our sector.
Getting harassed on his fuel again. It's got the double mortar half-tracks over here though. Getting to work with the barrage. Grenadiers coming through. Got the double anti-tank guns next to the double mortar half tracks.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Looks like the Major finally out for Barber. Pretty close to his medium tank, though Ender is indeed first.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Gonna get his out. About a 2-minute lead. Barber getting a little bit of work done here. Double anti-tank guns nearby.
The enemy is overrunning one of our
No
capture points.
snaring squad. There's one inside this building though. Good attack ground there for a little bit of extra damage. Machine gun upgrading. This one's on the cut-off here. Pretty aggressive. Could catch these guys on retreat. We do have the echelon coming in though. And they might be able to get here before these squads are forced to retreat. Here comes the Panzer IV. Double anti-tank guns setting up now.
Around our asses. Tactical
Popping the
point
APM.
being
Oh,
captured.
smoke. Where's this? Oh no, he's... I thought he was Spearhead, but he's not. He's Lightning War.
Station and ready for action.
Oof. Why do I think he's Spearhead? He's got G43s. I'm not
Capture
sure.
point is being overrun.
So, first Panzer IV goes down there very quickly. Just like that, Barber's back in the game. Clear these mines off with the mortar half track.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Pushing out back onto the side, but you can see very ineffective capping order. 2 squads capping the VP.
The enemy has driven a wedge in our lines.
The half tracks now actually quite low. Can repair those back up.
We are losing a sector.
There's a Sherman first. Ender going for a second machine gun. Might be the time for a second anti-tank gun though. Sherman still on armor piercing. Lucky for Ender. There it goes. Switching over to HE now. Good hit on the Grenadiers. And the pack wants to find an angle, but rifle jumps into the building. Luckily, this squad doesn't have the M1919, so quite ineffective from inside that building.
Under attack.
Wonder if Barber remembers he detected that mine over there.
Listen up,
The echelon capping in the center, but yeah, Barber definitely lacking in sandbags. Could be putting up a tank trap during this. Don't think we've seen him plant a single sandbag or tank trap this entire game. Which is really one of the strengths of this commander. You plant sandbags everywhere. Sit behind them with your M1919s. Repairing on the front lines like that, that's quite risky. I don't think I'd be doing that myself. Especially with negative cover right there. I could imagine this
We're losing a capture
vehicle
point.
crew would die almost immediately. Big blob of Grenadiers coming out to the side, but no anti-tank gun support. That's somewhere on the other side, so just to give up the chase. And this is perhaps where the second pack could come in for Ender.
You now have Tiger
So he's got
tanks
one
at
to
your
support a
command.
push on this side and one to defend the other side as well. Instead of the second machine gun.
Armor here.
8 kills so far for the Sherman. Half tracks coming forwards as well. Rebuild on the Panzer IV. Pretty close to being able to use the super close air support. So that could be the big move for Ender. He's got the double sweepers. He's got to make sure he doesn't run over another mine. If he makes an aggressive play with the planes.
Kill those stupid bastards.
Meanwhile, Barber just floating up an astronomical amount of manpower here. Could maybe build like a fuel cache even. Maybe one guarding the cutoff. Oof. Didn't see how that Grenadier died. Guessing water half track had something to do with it though. Double AT guns by the cutoff. So Barba a little bit undefended on this side at the moment. Planes are ready. T-10 guns, here they come now. Quite slow reactions though. Pushing back onto the other side with a couple squads. It'd be good, I think, to try spread these out. Maybe send one through the center, check for some more mines through there. Okay, we're going to have some time on target coming in out the back here. Very easy to dodge. Definitely be prioritizing this rifleman getting another M1919, and perhaps I think the captain maybe doesn't have a second LMG either. Just got the bar at the moment. Time on target is just such a terrible ability. Don't want to just drop it down like maybe you would with like frag bombs or something like that. And maybe if your opponent's a tiny bit slow to dodge, you could catch them with it. Especially if they're close to the edge of the map, you could maybe get a good hit. Standing on his own Telemann. Oh boy, the Pyos go down. Good hits there from the HE Sherman. It's not the kind of ability you just toss out. Wow, Barba going for the priest here. I was not expecting that. I think that's not a good idea either. Already got the double mortar half tracks. Should be enough indirects. And not a huge amount of team weapons. Well, half track should be able to handle this. Does leave himself exposed. Comes the priest, relatively close range, going for the machine gun out the back. Scatter is not terribly good for Barba there.
Our opponents are seizing the sector.
Yeah, if you're Barba at this stage, gone for this much indirect fire, you need to have mines everywhere. Absolutely just spamming them here, here, here. He doesn't have one guarding his base. Hambo. It's really like one of the main assets, I would say, of using these Rifleman Field Defenses commanders. It's being able to protect your ambulance from a base inspection. And Barba has not capitalized on that. Sherman rolling around the corner. Still on high explosive here though. And takes a Faust. Did sweep up that Telemann though. Anti-tank guns lining up here. Gonna go for some attack ground action perhaps. And the shot's getting blocked by the vehicle wreck though. Still enough damage to stop him in his tracks. Pull back for repairs himself. Doesn't want to lose another Panzer IV to the double AT guns. 0 kills for the start of that priest there. Did more half track just shoot while I was facing the wrong direction? Strange. He was dead even on the VPs at this stage in spite of Ender being down 2 Grenadiers, a Pio, and 2 222s, 1 Panzer IV. I don't know, I guess it just shows the impact of floating so much. Just nowhere near as much pressure as there could be from Barba because of that. Okay, priest ready to fire again. Sherman back up to full strength. I'm guessing Ender maybe going to try save for the Tiger at this stage. And then some artillery from the Major here. That's one I don't mind if you spam. It's pretty cheap. Decent to just force something to dodge away. Third the price of the time on target. Machine gun could be in some trouble here. But yeah, because the off-maps in this commander are so weak, this is one of the commanders they do favour getting rifleman grenades. Maybe at around this timing. Barba not paying attention over here, losing his rifleman. He's going to go for the steal on one of these machine guns. Priest has been ready to fire for quite some time. Still just camped out the back, so you can really see Barba lacking in APM. With another Sherman, rebuilding the rifleman as well. Oh wow, Ender going for a Panzerwerfer. Alright. Didn't fancy his aggressive tank plays, I suppose. Yeah, with a more steady option to try and win the game. But you don't have that, like, massive potential to just completely annihilate your opponent right now. Combined with the too close air support planes. Double AT guns, though, are always being used right next to each other, so they are a very strong target. It's worth it a hit. Could even maybe get the decoy on both of them if he's lucky. Coming up to the far side now. Okay, here comes the priest, this time from long range. Going to be a lot of scatter. Comes the Werfer. To the machine gun, a little damage though. Second Sherman doesn't have enough pop cap to actually push that out. Just stealing away the machine gun and rebuilding the rifleman. Too much pop cap tied up at the moment. That does mean that, you know, if his Sherman or something dies, we'll instantly pop out that Sherman, so not a terrible idea to have it queued up like this. We'll probably also pop out when he decruises Sherman next, perhaps. Depending on how much everything else is reinforced. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the priest, you know, well, I enjoy trying to go for some shotgun priest memes, but if you're trying to win a game in 1v1, there are easier ways to do it. Team games with the unit density, maybe it makes a bit more sense, a lot more static targets with forward reinforce points and whatnot, but not the best in 1v1. Still at 0 kills. Let's re-rumble though. Looks like he's going to bring in a touch closer this time. Maybe tighten up the scatter. If you can get it to Vet 1 and you can abuse the creeping barrage, then it becomes decent at least. It's worth it. On retreats, big damage, nearly takes down a rifle squad with that. Sherman also getting quite low. MG also getting decrewed by the double mortar half tracks. Going for the mass repair strats, jumping out the mortar half track crews, assisting the repairs over here. And Ender going to go for a Panther next. I think I would be favouring a still just trying to save for the Tiger. It's not like he's draining out very fast. Barba's been quite slow about applying VP pressure And you know, if you're trying to deal with double anti-tank guns, that means you've got plenty of popcat for the Tiger. You want the firepower of the Tiger. Panther could catch yourself in some trouble, not able to decrew these fast enough. And then find yourself in some major trouble, especially if you get like an engine crit in front of them. The extra firepower for the Tiger, if you can afford to save for it, which he can definitely do in this scenario. So much munitions at this stage as well for Ender. Could even be worth just dropping a set of planes down just to try cap, gain some territory control. Here we go. Both his tanks healthy. Let's see what he can get done with it now. He's got to go and try flank around here. Bring up the Panzer IV as well. The double anti-tank guns, double Shermans on the complete other side of the map.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Didn't end up flanking with this squad though, just capping on the fuel. Good bit of damage there from the Panzer IV. Gets the skirts upgrade. That's big. Oh boy, that's a bit of bad luck for Ender. Squad going down there. Double anti-tank guns did rotate. Now the Panther's on the other side of the map. Sherman isolated. Panther's just going to get one shot off and then disengage. Unsure of the location of the double anti-tank gun, so he's not going to take a risk. Priest barraging up here as well.
A capture point is under attack.
Looks like Ender gearing up for an attack, bringing both his tanks together. Sherman didn't get repaired up. This Panzer IV not on prioritized vehicles to start this off, and the double anti-tank guns opening up here. Got the planes coming down for Ender. Jumps out to screw with the prioritization of these tanks. Second time Barba's done that. It's an interesting tactic. Panzer IV going to focus on the anti-tank guns while the Panther circles. And that means that the anti-tank planes not locking onto anything during a lot of this timing. Looks like he might have jumped in a tiny bit too early though. Planes were perhaps about to time out. With a strike coming in. Nearly taking down both the vehicle crews. Oh boy, and the planes could come through for another pass on the Sherman. Yeah, it's going to reveal itself. Here they come. Panzer IV going to come back for it anyway, so is the pack.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Ooh, hangs on by a thread. Panzer IV maybe going to come in from the side this time. Wow, there's still one of them lingering after all of this time. Right, Panzer IV going to come out to the far side. It was an interesting idea from Barba. Mass decrew kind of like worked out, honestly. But you saw the impact of what I was talking about there. The Panther not able to hang around and kill off the decrewed anti-tank guns. There was ample opportunity there for Ender to just sit on top of the double AT guns and get the decrew, but don't want to overextend yourself and lose in a scenario like this. Now we're going for a rebuild on the Sherman here, which is interesting. He's up against the Panther now, so I think I would be favoring a Jackson myself at this stage. Maybe if you had quite a lot of bazookas, I could understand going for a second Sherman here, but he does not. It's not a terrible tactic to go for like one bazooka, one M1919 on all these squads. This gives you that little bit of extra anti-tank, makes it hard for vehicles like the Panther to actually to go for their dives against US forces. Because, you know, you maybe have like 2 riflemen there, they both fire their bazookas, and you get an anti-tank grenade off, and then it's got an engine crit. And they're in a lot of trouble. Well, here we go, Ender coming forwards again. He's got the planes ready to go, hasn't activated them yet. Circling around with the Panzer IV. And there we go. Panther continuing on its aggressive ways. And Barba just getting picked apart here. Managing to decrew one of the anti-tank guns, the other one's setting up, but maybe having it sight blocked by the vehicle wrecks. So it doesn't end up firing. Going in for full base inspection mode here. Gonna go for the priest next. Didn't hang around with the Panzer IV to try kill off the decrewed anti-tank gun though. If he did decide to drop some planes like right next to the base, they could have helped like clear off these vehicles in base. So yeah, Barba paying the price here of not building any mines on his base entrance. Panther just full disrespect, killing everything in his base. During all that though, Ender a little bit behind on VPs at this stage, so he's still got quite a way to go to cap back, and Barba may be learning from his mistake going for a Jackson at this stage. Especially greedy if you're trying to use the Shermans on high explosive as well. I think he was. Don't have time to hang around with the round changes up against the Panther Panzer IV combo. Jumps out of the building. Can he get away in time? Rifle does survive. Kind of lucky that he didn't actually end up retreating, because they retreated down this way. I suppose maybe because this has been opened up by the Panther, making it the shorter retreat path. Panther coming through, but it's not fully repaired. Go for the mortar half track with the AT guns there. Jumps out of this again. Seems to be Barba's favorite move. And there still has enough for another dose of planes. And the planes are a very good option to counter the Jackson. The T-gun decrewed there by the Grenadiers. Bit 2 on that Panzerwehr for now, and another Grenadier coming in for Ender. Needs some more capping power. Could even go for another Grenadier after that. Decrew on the anti-tank gun. Second Panzer IV for Ender as well now. A little bit too early on the anti-tank grenades, so no engine crits on the Panzer IV. And with his tanks a little bit low at this stage. Peering out the back. Panther coming through again. And here comes the Jackson. Might have bitten off more than he could chew. I did see some mines coming down over here for Barba. This could be trouble for the Panther. He's dropped the planes in to try and make this safe, but there goes one of the mines. Still hanging in there by a thread. Jumps out of the Jackson again while the planes are mid-action. Now they get suppressed as well. Double Panzer IV is rolling through here for Ender. One AT gun decrewed. Another one also going to go down. Where's the Sherman? Is this... What is it doing? He's bringing it now. This has been sitting back in his base for like 5 minutes now. Oh boy, and Ender gets the steal on the decrewed Jackson. Decrewing tactics backfiring horribly there. Sherman goes down but abandoned. And getting cold feet here. He should stay in and just finish the game. Instead he's backing away, giving opportunities for Barba to recover these anti-tank guns. He's coming back in with the other Panzer IV now. Good decrew on this one.
Krauts just took out an entire gun crew.
MG getting some suppression going here. Kill on one of the AT guns. Needs to be driving. Oh, wow. Wow.
We lost a
Crazy good hits there for Ender with those double Panzer IVs. Giving the decrew. That was a 3-model, pretty healthy AT gun. And then the follow-up shot. Just annihilating the gun. And with that, I would say that this game is well and truly over.
overrun.
Just up to Ender to try to close out on the VPs here now. One target coming down. Nice Panzer IV play here from Ender. So there's lots of options to shut down the rifleman right across the entire map. Rebuild on the anti-tank gun for Barber.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
The one anti-tank gun's not going to be enough against 3 Panzer IVs and a Werfer. Pick up the M1919. Here come the Panzer IVs. Anti-tank gun on the base entrance here. P4 going to drive right past. There's 2 shots on the way in. Got to go for some attack rounds there. Slow bringing forwards the 3rd Panzer IV. If he's in reinforcement range, this is a little bit risky. We're not going full disrespect here. In the worst of both worlds here. Sitting in front of the anti-tank gun, taking a lot of damage. Rifle nade out, and doesn't get the decrew though. A lot of repairs required now. Second anti-tank gun coming in for Barber. I think this is a mistake again. Probably should be a Jackson.
We've dropped to 200 points. Anti-tank gun, ready for action.
But we'll see what happens.
What the hell? Grab your shit.
Once again, Barber using these double AT guns in a tight formation. And then getting decrewed there by the LMG Grenadiers. That was the vetted up one as well. The other one under pressure. If I was Ender, I'd just be driving straight ahead. Even if he takes a mine here, it doesn't really matter too much.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
This is ideal to try drive in as close as you can, if possible with your hull guns still facing towards, just so your machine guns do maximum damage. There we go, Barber finally throwing in the towel. So yeah, Barber should have had a far bigger lead in the early game after knocking out those double 222s, wiping Grenadier, but just floating. Like, I got to maybe close to 1,300 manpower at one stage. Clearly not that confident about how to adapt the build when you're so far ahead like that and unable to really stretch the lead, maybe running out of micro to really cap as well. Seemed to be an issue for Barber this game. But yeah, nightmare start for Ender. That mine on the cutoff really costing him dearly. And the double AT gun shutting down that 1st Panzer IV easily could have cost them the game, but the planes, they really help when you're making those big aggressive dives against US forces. And worked out well. Barber paying the price for not getting any mines down, not as many mines down as he should. Maybe making a few minor build order mistakes. Yeah, and don't just drop down time on target on something that can easily dodge just at random times. It's so terrible. Might be worth considering as well, going for some bazookas in this scenario, especially if you're up against those mass diving plays. You know, your anti-tank guns can get out positioned, but your bazookas can still rotate and fire quite nicely. Would have been a good option. Well, anyway, guys, wrap on that. If you like your game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you off for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.